Hey, Brooke.
Hey, Nikki, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. It's summertime. I'm
It
I'm
is
taking full advantage.
summertime. Summertime.
Summertime. Yeah.
And we are
So,
taking full advantage by
yeah,
like laying in the pool.
I
And
know.
remember how a couple weeks ago we talked about the dead squirrel in the pool?
I know, Brooke. This
Guys,
is
there was another
awful.
dead squirrel in the pool today. And like, Nikki, you found a video of a
They
squirrel swimming.
swim. They can swim.
Well,
They can swim. They don't like to swim, but they can swim.
this
So
one really didn't like to swim.
I think that maybe they're like dying. They're like dying on the tree, like having a heart attack.
Tree doesn't hang over it.
Oh, it doesn't?
No. Trees
Oh.
don't hang over my pool.
See,
They're
trees
just like
hang over our
around.
pool, so I'm surprised.
Yeah,
I
it
don't,
was
knock on wood, thank you.
gross.
No
It
squirrels.
was gross and sad. So,
Mm.
and Pete was at work, so I had to call my dad, and he came over and fished it out.
Oh, gosh.
But anyway,
So we have quite an amazing episode for you guys today.
oh, this episode's so fun, and my
Yes.
internet went out.
Yes, it
So
did.
sorry.
And I was just like, I'm going to keep going. And she was amazing just all the way through it. And it was great. Like, I don't even know if
Oh, it
she
was
knew your
fantastic.
internet went out. Maybe she did. But I was like, oh shit, where'd Brooke go?
My internet just went like boom, bye.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I tried to link to my phone, and it like couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
I'm also in the basement, so it didn't have a great signal.
Oh,
Anyway, Pete got it working again. So, phew.
wow. Well, I'm glad that
Yeah.
he did, and I'm glad that you came back. And I'm so
Thanks.
excited for you guys to hear this episode. We found Devon
Oh my gosh.
on TikTok. She has the most amazing story. Listen to this about being in a Backstreet Boys video. And not only, she's the one I think of when I see the video.
Oh yeah.
Her.
If like we're talking about this right now and we're saying
can
like
see
it was
her.
a Backstreet
Reach
Boys
your
video,
hand.
you know the
Yes.
girl.
You know who she is. You can go and see her TikTok on our website. So we're actually going to have the one that she actually posted that went viral on our website. So go there, watch it because it's amazing.
Watch that TikTok.
Yes, watch the TikTok, and she's going to tell her story on our podcast. And you guys, and more stories, not just the Backstreet Boys stories.
This girl's got stories for days.
Oh my gosh. She was living her best life. Like for real. For real.
All of us.
Yes, for all of us. So enjoy this episode and go follow her on everything. We'll give you her socials at the end, and hope you enjoy.
This is Brooke.
And this is Nikki.
And this is Devon.
And this is my so-called whatever.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi,
the gang's
everyone.
all here.
Yes, we have a special guest.
We do. We're so excited.
Yes, we found her on TikTok. Yes.
It's so strange to even hear that I'm a TikToker. That's what I'm.
Oh, it's great though. We love TikTok. TikTok
is love TikTok. Yes, we do.
I love it too. And I'll tell you that I actually was like a TikTok skeptic. I felt like it was something for the youngins, and I just ignored it. And then I don't know why exactly I decided to check it out. Total addiction.
Yeah.
Total addiction.
Oh yeah.
Immediate. And I now I'm like preaching the gospel actually of TikTok to everyone, because as far as all social media goes, I feel like basically every other platform is essentially unhealthy in some way. But TikTok, it's like I do it at the gym. I like try to set up parameters so I don't go too crazy with it. But I'll go on the elliptical and I'll watch TikTok for 1 hour, and I just laugh my butt off for 1 hour. It keeps me on the elliptical twice as long, and it's just like an endorphin rush. So I tell everyone, if you want to just like start your day off right, go on TikTok, laugh. It's the best.
Agreed.
It really
100%.
is. It really is. And there are some really great people on there.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. Like, where can you go? I say to my husband, like, TikTok knows me better than my husband does, because where can you go where like I go on and I see 90s nostalgia, Broadway musicals, Disney, romance novels, like everything that I've ever been interested in served up to me all in a row. Like, it's incredible. I tell everyone,
your own private, it's like your own private channel.
It
like
is. It's
this
like,
is like,
it's like it
yeah,
sees inside your brain.
right. Yeah. I love it so much. I'm obsessed. I watch it at night. I watch it when I'm on the treadmill. I watch it all the time.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
Yes, but it's a good problem. It doesn't hurt anyone like that TikTok goes.
It's true. You know, I did it because I saw some other authors that were getting traction on there, and it's you know, as a new author, I'm always trying to reach readers, and it's challenging, of course, to break into the publishing industry and just expose your book to people.
Yes.
And so I started to see other authors kind of having success on TikTok. So I thought, oh, I'll check it out. And I just started, you know, sort of following some romance authors on TikTok. And that's sort of how I came up with this. And I had really only done like a few videos on TikTok, like a handful, like 5, I don't know, and had some, you know, mild success on TikTok. But I was like, you know, the romance novel category is very niche. And if I want to try to come up with a video that's going to be very appealing, let me like dig a little deeper and think about what might hit the general population a little bit more. And you know, the ace in my back pocket is always the Backstreet Boys music video.
This is so cool. This is so cool. Like, I saw this and I was like, oh my God, Brooke, we've been wanting to have somebody like this. Yay, we have to get her. So
it's so funny whenever I bring it up. It will come up, you know, randomly in conversation sometimes, and just it always causes a full meltdown. I mean, any like woman in the room just immediately turns into like a giggly 16-year-old.
Yes.
And I get it, because like I'm the same. And people just have so many questions about it. I love talking about it. Never gets old. Love the song. Obsessed with the experience. It's just like has so many like incredible memories for me. And I put together that TikTok video actually with my son's help, who's 13. Cool. And of course, the irony being that I don't even let my kids go on social media at all. So they're not on TikTok or anything, but they have an innate understanding of like how to edit a video better than I do.
Yeah.
You know, especially with like virtual learning, they just have better understanding of all those tools. So I was like asking my son, can you help me with this? And he's able to do it really quick, of course. And so when I posted it, I said to him, I think that this would be the one that would go viral. Like, and he was like, Mom, you say that. You say that all the time. You say that every time you say it. And sure enough, though, it did. And you know, the kids, my oldest son is 13. They just, although they know I was in this video and they know that it's quote unquote cool, they really don't have a concept. And I think this whole experience and seeing the comments that were coming in, how excited people are to hear from me. Like I'm telling you that the comments on the video were like, made me emotional, very emotional, because people were like, I've watched you hundreds of times. I've wondered about you. When I think about the video, yours is the face that I think about.
Wow.
They have it's just, and like I've had people, like I'm telling you, from other countries saying, you know, hi from Poland, hi from, you know, South America. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's, you know, this happened to me when I was 17 years old. It was 15 minutes of fame for me, for sure, like in my school. Okay. So, but that's like as far as it reached for me mentally at that time. And I would watch, you know, TRL every day. I was on Total Request Live. That video was #1. The video, of course, in question is I Want It That Way. Was #1 forever. And, you know, it continues to pop up all the time. I mean, anytime you will see like a, you know, top boy band songs or top pop songs of, you know, the 2000s or whatever, it's #1 every time. So, you know, I was at the gym today. The video was on at the gym. Like it does not, it follows me everywhere I go. Okay.
You're like, that's me. That's me.
Yes. Sometimes I like look around and I'm like, is anybody else seeing me?
That's awesome.
So it really is like, it's just so many positive feelings and memories wrapped up in it. And it's so funny, 22 years later, literally 22 years later, to have this come back up again. My family has just been laughing so hard over it because it was such a big deal back in the day, it really was. And then now 2 decades later, I have tweets from Nick Carter. Like it's just way beyond comprehension. Yeah, to have it come up again. So anyway, it's awesome. So yeah, should I dig into the details of the story? Okay.
Yes.
So let me set the scene. The scene is it's 1999.
Okay.
I'm 17 years old, and I'm going to actually pull out of my photo album here. This is an important piece. So I was calling into the radio. April of 1999. I was calling into the radio. I lived about an hour south of Los Angeles in Orange County, California. And we would call the radio all the time, and for different things. We try to win $1,000. We try to win concert tickets. And I did win, by the way, a variety of things over the course of my life. I won tickets to the MTV Movie Awards. Like we called in constantly. Yeah. But we were on a first name basis with the people who worked there, you know. And so it was 102.7 Kiss FM in LA. And so you were always trying to be caller 102. That was the thing. And they did, like, I want to say it was a top 9 at 9, but in my notes here, which I'm showing you here on the screen, you had to tell them the top 5 songs. Okay. That's what you had to repeat back. So first you had to be caller 102. Then you had to tell them what the top 5 was, and then you won something. So like I have my list here, and let me tell you what the songs were. Okay. Top 5 songs.
Yay.
Okay. So number 5 was "Can I Get a What" by Jay-Z.
Okay.
Okay. Number 4 was "Stay the Same" by Joey McIntyre.
Yes.
All right. Number 3 was "I Drive Myself Crazy" by NSYNC.
Oh my God.
Yes.
My heart.
Number 2 was "The Hardest Thing" by 98 Degrees.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Number 1, "All I Have to Give" by the Backstreet Boys.
Oh,
This is gold.
There's 4 boy band songs out of the 5. Okay, Jay-Z is the outlier. So I have this written. I'm so glad I kept all these things because it's such a delight to look at. So anyway, I was not caller 102, but when I called in, they said, "Oh, well, put me on hold and hang on, and JoJo will come and talk to you." So JoJo on the radio, people who are California natives will know JoJo on the radio. He was the DJ that was famous back then and did all the pop stuff at night. Okay. So JoJo eventually comes on. I'm on hold. Comes on and he says, "Hey, are you interested in being an extra in this music video that's filming tomorrow?" I believe it was like the next day. "And you and a friend can come, and it's for the Backstreet Boys new album that's coming out, a new song that's coming out." And I wrote here again on my list. I had a directions, okay, that I wrote down. And it says, I had written here, "I want it that way. Check in at 4:00 at the big tent. bring a sweater. It's an 8 to 10 hour long shoot. Bring food." And then the directions were kind of interesting because they were very sort of cloak and dagger and kind of vague. And so basically I knew that I was driving to LAX. It says get off, here at this whatever exit. Then when you see a big parking lot, you're going to see a sign that says Mr. Pink on it. You're gonna follow the Mr. Pink signs to the big tent. So it was all like very kind of vague.
Wow.
Right. So like I was just like, this sounds normal.
Sure.
Didn't question it. And so so first I actually called up my friend who was the bigger Backstreet Boys fan. So I actually at this time I was the number one fan of NSYNC. Okay, so really loved NSYNC. Backstreet Boys loved him too, but NSYNC really had my heart. So I have, two very close friends, at the time 2 best friends. One of them was like the ultimate Backstreet Boys fan. So called her first. Turns out she could not go to this video. Okay. This is the biggest regret of her life. Okay. So when she listens to this podcast, guaranteed she'll be screaming because she was going on a college trip. We were juniors in high school and she was going to visit a college, couldn't get out of it and was devastated that she couldn't go. And she regrets it to this day. But anyway, so then I called my other best friend and she said, "Yeah, like I'm in, we'll do this tomorrow." So I looked back and this was filmed, I want to say, I think it was the first and second, it was like a Thursday. Okay. So I have a lot of questions and I was talking to my girlfriend last week about this, still my best friend. And I said, did we skip school? Like what happened? I'm so confused. We both don't really remember. But basically we checked in the afternoon, 4 p.m. and we didn't get out of there until like 5 a.m. It was all night long.
Wow.
So she seems to think that we didn't go to school the next day or we went late in the day. And our parents let us like sleep in. This could be true. I don't know. Our parents let us do some wild stuff.
That's amazing.
You know, there's no cell phones. There was no way to contact anyone. Like, Lord only knows like what my parents thought like was happening. But we did a lot of stuff like this, and we were good, trustworthy kids. So I think they just kind of smiled and nodded and said, okay, no problem. So anyway, so the next day we go, we do this whole thing, we check in. Basically, we ended up parking in a parking lot that was outside of an airplane hangar that was not in use. They had pulled up the plane, of course, that you see in the music video outside the hangar. And it did not say the Backstreet Boys on it. So that was something that they added later. And actually an interesting bit, if you watch the video, in some frames, it says Backstreet Boys on the plane, and in other frames it does not. It's like they only did CGI for the portions at the end when the girls were screaming, but in the beginning of the video they didn't. I don't really understand it. But anyway, so there's the plane there, and I can't really exactly remember the details of like if they came out or if they were already there. I don't really recall. But anyway, so there's a bunch of girls, and I would say probably, I mean, in the video, you can kind of tell, and I was looking back at my photos, like almost trying to count, but I would say probably they had maybe 25 girls, and each one brought a friend. So there's probably like 50 girls, and a lot of us were young, you know, like underage, you know, young girls. And then they had a whole separate group of people who were paid extras that they had hired. Okay. And they sort of hung out towards the back, like they don't care. Right. So all the excited girls, they had come up at the front, and they basically had us form like a semicircle around the Backstreet Boys. And they had these large, I guess you call them like large speakers that were on the floor, on the ground of the hangar. And they started playing the song basically. Okay. So like they turned on the song, and they basically told us just scream. They first handed out a bunch of the props, like posters, flowers, all these different things. Oh my gosh.
Adorable. Adorable.
I came in. I should have locked that door. But anyway, so they handed out all this stuff, the posters, the flowers, all like the signs the girls were hoarding. So we didn't bring any of that, or at least we didn't bring any of that. I don't know if any other girls did, and they said basically just start screaming, act really excited. They're going to come around the circle. They're going to shake your hands. They're going to do whatever. So we didn't really know, you know, and there was a little bit of like a mob mentality to this group, to this like experience, because as soon as the music starts playing, you kind of all feed off each other, and you get like louder and crazier as it's going on. And but the thing I remember very vividly about it is that as soon as they started playing back the song, and basically they're lip singing to it and sort of dancing around, the song was so catchy. It was like instantly, it was such an earworm, right? Like you just knew it after hearing it one time. And we were all singing it like immediately. That's how catchy that song is. And I know everyone sort of has a real like emotional connection to this song.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so, it kind of encompasses like that time of life for all of us.
For sure.
And I mean, if you can imagine like being there and hearing it for the first time, you know, the Millennium album was not out yet. It was the first time hearing it, and it was just, you really just knew immediately that it was going to be a massive hit. There was no question at all. And so for the rest of the night, the whole night through, we couldn't stop singing it, because it was just like, once it's in your head, it's there. Like it's never leaving. But anyway, so we probably went through that 4 or 5 times. They played the song like basically the whole way through. And they're just kind of going around shaking hands and doing this. And we were able to take pictures with them in between when they were kind of resetting. Like we were able to like take pictures, ask them questions, you know, talk to them. They were super nice. There wasn't any like they were separated over here and we were over in a different spot. It was very much you were able to interact. And that was just a really cool. So you know, all the pictures that I showed in that TikTok video were things I took there. You know, of course, I took it on my real camera. So like at the time, you have no idea what kind of pictures you're getting.
Right, right.
And you're somewhat terrified that you're going to have terrible pictures or that they're going to be too dark. And what ended up happening was that we made friends with other girls at the shoot and ended up exchanging addresses and sending each other a set of photos so that we could make sure that we had really good photos. And like we had been taking pictures of each other, like with them. So which just makes me laugh because it's just so 90s, like literally nailing each other, like printed photos.
So yes.
But it's amazing because now I have double the amount of photos.
That's amazing.
And it was so funny when I posted that TikTok because some of the comments I got, but listen to this one. I got someone who was at the video shoot also with me commented on the TikTok video and said, I think I have a picture of you hugging Nick Carter.
No way. Oh my
No way.
God.
And so I started communicating with her via email. Now I have not seen this photo yet.
Oh my God.
But I sent her a bunch of my photos, and I just thought how wild 22 years later to be able to connect with someone who was also there.
Yes.
I mean, like what an incredible experience. I also got a comment from someone who said, I played you in the Blink 182 parody video of All the Small.
Are you
and
serious?
I'm
Oh
not
my
kidding you. And
God.
I've also communicated with her a bunch via message, and I just was dying over it. I just cannot even believe the things that have sprung up from this TikTok video.
That is so amazing.
It's so much fun. So much fun. So going back, so after they did that part, they then filmed the part where they're like walking up the stairs to the plane, and there was no music playing at that point. We were kind of watching. And at that point, they actually dismissed all of the kind of radio station girls, okay, all the younger girls. So it hadn't been that long, maybe a couple hours. And so my friend and I were like, we do not want to leave. We want to stay here. And how can we do that? So we decided that we were going to mix ourselves in with the real extras and just hope we wouldn't be caught. Okay. So we were not the only ones with this idea, but we were able to pull this off. I still don't know how we were able to pull it off. I mean, obviously they must have known that we were not the paid extra. They had everyone who was there sign like a video release form, which I still have because I kept extra copies for my scrapbook, of course, because
I love it.
Everything's in a scrapbook. And ended up befriending some of the extras there. I was telling a funny story because I did an Instagram post about this, that there was actually this guy at the shoot that I thought was really cute, and we ended up going on a date later.
Oh, no way. This is so great.
Yes. The story just gets better and better. So anyway, at that point, they ended up busing us over to LAX, the Tom Bradley International Terminal. And that is the part that they filmed where they're walking in slow motion outside.
Yes.
At the very beginning of the video. So I'm on one side of that. And although you really can't see me in the video in that portion, I have pictures where you can see me on the side there.
So cool.
And that was cool. So they did that like several times. And again, they're just standing around. And at this point, like, I don't remember like what time of night it was, but everyone's like getting real tired. Like, you're hitting like midnight and people are starting to flag. But anyway, so then they stuck us in the international terminal. So inside, and they had blocked off the whole terminal. So there was no travelers or anything in there. It was all ours. So we were kind of sitting in one area. They were in another area. The director, who was Wayne Isham, which I talked about this in my TikTok video afterwards, but Wayne Isham was the director who directed literally every pop music video of that era, and you used to see him on MTV making of the video show.
Yes.
So he's got the long blonde hair.
Yes.
And I actually looked him up after doing this video, and it's like he's been doing this since like the 70s. So he's worked with every artist, like Whitney Houston, I mean, like you name it, Madonna, all these people. And so that, looking back, I'm like, gosh, I wish I had known more about him, because I would have like tried to talk to him.
Yeah, no kidding.
So intrigued by that. But anyway, yeah, so we did just kind of do a lot of watching at that point, like seeing what they were doing, and they were filming stuff with them on their own. And then they had us do a variety of what I call just like a background shot. So like when you see them and they're in the white outfits and they're superimposed doing the dance, and it's like, do you know what I'm talking about? It's like superimposed over the background of the airport. We were walking back and forth basically from desk to desk across the terminal. That is used as the background shot. So I know where I am in that portion. I mean, like a normal person wouldn't be able to pick me out or anything, but I'm there. And then we did a bunch of other shots where we're like going up the escalator and down the escalator, and they were taking shots of like our shoes. Like it was supposed to be kind of like traveler, extra filler shots. So this went on for hours and hours and hours. And there was a lot of waiting around and just like sitting in uncomfortable plastic, airport chairs. And, at a certain point, you're like, why did I want to stay and do this all night long? Like definitely the exciting part was, of course, the hangar at the beginning. But just to be like, present for the whole filming and just kind of seeing how it unfolded was just obviously such like a bird's eye cool experience that no one gets to have. And so anyway, eventually I want to say it ended at like 5 a.m. They bussed us back to where our cars were parked at that parking lot. And like, so one of the things that was tough was that we were starving, and I think we had brought like a snack or something, but like not having any clue that this was going to be like truly going all night. And at one point they brought in McDonald's, which they actually served. They had a McDonald's in that terminal. They brought in McDonald's for the Backstreet Boys, but the rest of us had to like watch them eat it. And we were starving, we were so hungry. And that's one thing I remember like very vividly. So as soon as we left and we got back in the car, we found a drive-through. That was like our first stop on the way home.
Oh my word.
So that was kind of the whole experience in a nutshell. Just super interesting. I got great pictures out of it. And obviously, you know, we didn't know how it would turn out. Like we didn't know what the video would really end up looking like. And just thought it was a really cool experience, but I didn't have like necessarily expectations of anything. I just thought, well, this will be fun when we see the final video. This is really exciting. So fast forward a month later. So the video premiered on May 5th, 1999 on Total Request Live with Carson Daly. And we set up a watch party at my friend's house, the one who was not able to go.
Oh,
poor Kirsten. And we were flipping out. And so when they premiered the video, of course, not having any idea, when my face came on screen close up, it was very shocking. I mean,
I bet.
Yes, I did not expect it. And then it happened again. Like, so my face is on there 2 big times. Okay. And it's literally just my face filling the screen. And the second time is when I've got the hand reaching out. It's that very sort of iconic, you know.
Yes. that was yes.
Yes. Yeah. That's the iconic.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what I'm known for. And
that's the face.
Yes, that's the face. And you know, I'm in the crowd shots a couple of other times, but those are the 2 big ones. And it's I tell people it's always after they sing "Tell Me Why," then my face pops up, and then it's "Tell Me Why" again, my face pops up. And so I mean, we were just screaming, you know, it just, you know, and we were videotaping it, right? Because everything was VHS. So like we're videoing it, recording it, and then like, and of course, immediately rewinding it and watching it over and over and over again. And really that's when like my phone started ringing, you know, and of course there's no cell phone. So it was like my house phone. My parents were like, huh? What's going on? And that people had seen it. And then, you know, as soon as that video premiered, it was played constantly over and over again, every single day.
Yes.
You know, basically until the end of time. But like, especially at that time, just constantly, that was what MTV was all about at the time. It was Total Request Live. And, you know, those videos were people will actually watch it. That's what we did. We went home at 3 p.m. and watched TRL every day.
That's right.
We all had this experience. You know, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have social media. We didn't have a million channels. This is what we watched.
Right. Exactly.
We watched the countdown with Carson Daly. And so the next day at school, it was total pandemonium for me. And we ended up watching the video in class. Like the teacher put it on in class.
That's
and we watched
so cool.
it over and over again in class. Yeah. So it was just, I mean, can you imagine being 17 and having that experience? It's hard for me to even describe it now because it just was such an accident of fate.
So crazy.
And, you know, it's hard for me to really put it into words. It just was really cool for me. And I look back on the whole thing as just what an awesome, lucky turn that was for me. And just, you know, everything about the song and that time of life brings me just such joy. And we were so into boy bands. Okay, so, you know, as a separate thing from that, we were really obsessed with NSYNC. We were obsessed with all boy bands for that matter. And having proximity, having proximity to LA was amazing because we were able to go to every award show. Okay, so we signed up as seat fillers. Okay, you could sign up for seat fillers.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my
So
dream.
jealous.
It is, right. So like, this is why my parents really let us do whatever we wanted because we weren't getting into trouble. We were like going to award shows, you know, and seat filling and like seeing which celebrities we could sit next to. So I have an entire album sitting right next to me, which unfortunately people are not gonna be able to see on the podcast, but like I could show you some amazing photos. So if you saw, there was so after this TikTok started going viral, I got contacted by a BuzzFeed reporter and she was like, let's talk about this. So I ended up telling her, you know, about some of my other celebrity experiences. And I sent her all these photos that I have it's such a time capsule. Okay. Because it's truly back from like 1998 to like 2002. And it was back when like, you know, the paparazzi was a big thing. And there's no cell phones. So like these celebrities would go to clubs and I would go there because I was in college at the time. So I would go, you know, I went to USC, which is in LA. I would go out to these clubs and I would see these guys. Like at one time I went out, I ended up dancing with JC at a club.
What?
Like,
What?
yes, this is what I'm saying. JC was like the love of my life at the time. And I remember
Mine too.
I was shaking, okay, like the whole time. I talked about this in one of my follow-up TikTok videos, is that, so I went to this club. I want to say it was Joseph's. Okay, you should like look this up. Joseph's was like the cool place to go on Monday night. And I have so many random stories. One of the stories is on my 21st birthday, Leonardo DiCaprio was at Joseph's. We went to Joseph's. My friends asked Leonardo DiCaprio to wish me a happy 21st birthday, and he did. That's my 21st birthday. Okay. Can you even imagine it?
That,
okay,
oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
At the same place, also ran into AJ McLean of the Backstreet Boys. This is some years later. And I decided I'm just going to roll right up to him. So I did. And I said, I was in the video for I Want It That Way. And I just wanted to say what an amazing experience this was for me. And like, this was my 15 minutes of fame. And I thank you so much for the experience. And I know you didn't really probably have much to do with me being invited to go to it, but like this for me, it was like one of the highlights of my life. And I just appreciate it so much. And he was so nice, so gracious, and like appreciative that I had come up to tell him. And anyway, it was just really bad. So I have so many kind of random stories like that.
I love it.
When I was in college, they used to come, I was in a sorority, they used to come and recruit sorority girls to like be seat fillers. And I got to dance on stage at the VH1 Awards when Bon Jovi was performing It's My Life. They had a bunch of girls that they just pulled to like dance on stage. They wanted,
oh my gosh,
like, these
that's
kind
so
of things
cool.
that happened because we lived right across the street from the Shrine Auditorium where they held a lot of these award shows. So I just have these incredible experiences. And then my friends and I did some things that, you know, by today's standards would never be allowed, okay, to sneak backstage. And security was very different then. You know, this is like pre 9/11.
Yes.
You could do things, okay? Like you could talk to security guards and get your way back, you know? So our whole goal was just, we wanted to see these people.
Yes.
It wasn't like,
Right.
it wasn't we were really even doing anything. We just kind of were watching them like creepers. So, I look back and I'm just laughing at like, we just wanted to like see what they were up to. So we ended up backstage all the time. I have pictures of NSYNC's dressing room.
No.
I stuck into their dressing room after they had left. We took pictures. We took some stuff. Like again, I'm like, I shouldn't even like say like some of the stuff we took. But anyway, like it
was a different time.
It was a different time.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. And, you know, we made friends with some of their teams. So like they had a publicist, his name was Roger. And we would always chat with Roger and be like, where are you going next? We're going to see you next week. and then we would talk with their big, huge bodyguards. And we'd be like, we're cool. We're not trying to cause trouble. And they were all very nice and fun. And at one point, but this was like the highlight. One time we were chatting with Lance Bass and he said, He's my
favorite. He's my favorite.
Don't I know you guys? Didn't I see you last week?
What?
Oh my God.
Let me find you. Let me just show you. Okay, so like here, I'm gonna show you some of my pictures. This is like the MTV Movie Award tickets.
Oh my God. That's
so
amazing.
cool.
We would secure like backstage passes from people. We did a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. Like some of these are hard to see, but like, you know, this is, we were seat filling and like, this is the back of James Vanderbeek's head right here.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Like this is Katie Holmes, you know, like this was the MTV Movie Awards. I don't know if you can see here, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
Okay.
I spot him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then we took a picture here with, this was like my favorite at the time. Okay, Carrie Russell, Felicity. Like,
oh yeah.
Who was not obsessed with Felicity?
Yes.
Right.
We were so hardcore obsessed with Felicity. So like, it was really interesting to me. We watched like Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson together. We used to see them backstage together all the time. And that was really interesting. I was so into watching the Newlyweds back in the day. It was like extra devastating to me when they got divorced, because of how, you know, we had watched them so much. So like, here's my picture, like my boyfriend picture with JC.
Oh my, that's like, this is my boyfriend. We're on a date. This is
Oh my
us.
No,
God.
that
And
is
by
like
the
my
way,
dream.
Like this is right before they're going on stage to perform at the Teen Choice Awards, and we are backstage.
What?
Like, why? Why are we there? Why are we loud? I don't know. And like, this is my friend Kirsten with Justin.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
gosh.
I mean, right? Okay. So, and then here's all the guys.
Oh my god.
I love it. I love it so much.
This is JC with Roger. This is their publicist, who's this super awesome guy. But like, I mean, this is like, it became kind of normal for us. I know that sounds like kind of weird because we were doing it like all the time. Like that's Luke Perry.
Oh my god.
I mean, you know, like,
I
right?
miss him.
Me too. Okay, so like, here's another with Justin.
Oh my god. You were
I mean,
living the life. You were living
I
your
was
best
living the
life.
dream. I was absolutely living the dream, and that's, you know, there's Joey.
Oh my
like,
god.
I mean, like, I've got to find the one with Lance.
Was that red hair, Joey?
Red hair Joey?
Yes.
These are the 98 degrees guys. I don't know
Oh
if
my
you can see it
god.
well enough.
Yes.
I wanted to find the Lance one. It was from the Blockbuster Entertainment Awards. Oh, I got a good Britney picture in here. Let me get the Britney
Oh
picture.
my gosh, Brittany.
I love Brittany.
There was a Nickelodeon Christmas like jam. I can't even. Here's the picture of their dressing room.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
That's
You
amazing.
love it. We went to this Nickelodeon like Christmas thing, and NSYNC performed "Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays."
My favorite song.
My absolute favorite. I mean, they rarely performed that. Can you see this? There's Brittany.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
here she is again.
Oh
She's with
my
Keenan.
gosh.
She's being interviewed by Keenan. Okay, like, does this like just blow your mind that Keenan's now been on SNL for like 20 years? But
Oh
back
my
then he was,
word.
you know, Nickelodeon, and then like here I am with Danielle Fishel.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
mean,
that's
I
so
have-
cool.
I have the most amazing record of like the stuff that I did. that, like,
Totally.
no
I'm
one
so
would
glad you
ever-
did.
I know. No, I mean, truly, no one would ever believe my stories if I didn't have this to back it up, because I just have so many stories. Let me find this picture of Lance.
Can I ask you a huge favor?
Yes, yes.
Could you send us some of those
Yeah.
pictures?
I absolutely can send them all. I
And
actually
we'll
just
do we have permission to put them on our website?
yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Oh, can I see that? Oh, I just saw
yeah,
that Lance
sorry.
one. Oh my gosh.
let me pull it back up. I just put it together for the BuzzFeed reporter.
Awesome.
And so I've got it all organized. So here's some more. So there's a Lance one.
Oh, Lance, look at
And-
it.
and
Lance.
Joey on the top.
Oh my
That's the
gosh.
red hair phase. So this is definitely like 99. I feel like we must have been juniors, seniors in high school. And then we continued our antics into college a bit. This is Chris.
Chris.
You know, these guys were so nice to us. Like, I mean, they just were so, I mean, patient with all these girls, and they were always willing to talk to us. They were always willing to take photos. You know, I have some stories about people who were not willing to take photos. I won't say who they are, but these guys never did that. They are so great to their fans. And, you know, when this whole TikTok thing happened a week or so ago, I got a comment on the TikTok from Nick Carter, which just completely threw
Crazy.
me, like, just blew my mind. Like, can you imagine, like 22 years later?
No.
It's just,
No.
you can't possibly wrap your mind around such a thing. And I was trying to like communicate this to my kids, and I was like, you don't get it. I can't, I'm sorry, I can't explain it. And then he tweeted directly at me, and he said, I mean, I should read it.
Yes, please do.
I immediately was just like, I can't. I like need to step out of life for a moment.
Right.
Because
You
it's
needed a
too much
moment.
for me. I'm a 39-year-old woman, but I feel like I'm 17 and I just died. Like I had a stroke. Okay. Okay. So here's what he said. And okay. So he said, such a cool story. This was in response to the BuzzFeed article once it got posted. Such a cool story. I just wanted to personally thank Devon Daniels for being in our video 22 years ago. We love you, and I hope it wasn't too late.
Oh my
Oh,
Okay, what?
Nick.
What?
Nick.
And then so I responded to him, not expecting a response in return, but I said, Nick, the kindness and generosity that you and all the Backstreet Boys have shown your fans for decades is truly inspiring. I cannot thank you enough for this unforgettable experience that I've gotten to enjoy for 22 years. I'm so grateful then as now. Okay. He responded again. Okay. Imagine getting
this is not real life. This is not real life.
It's not real life. It's not real life. He said, thank you, but it's fans such as yourself that keep us going and have blessed us with this life to be able to entertain and bring joy. Thank you, with prayer hands. And anyway, I was just like, this is just, I need to take a hard time out.
Yes, yes.
So, I mean, it's just all these guys, anyone we met, that was part of this sort of like pop phenomenon, and it's, in particular Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, who we saw over and over again because we really did go to like so many events. So generous with their fans and their time, and they just never expressed any annoyance, with it, which I'm sure it must have been annoying to have people following you around all over the place. And I look back and I just think what a lucky time of my life this was. And we did these things that you could never do today. I mean, you could never get close to celebrities like this. And honestly, I don't think it would be safe for people to get close to celebrities like that now. And obviously our intentions were pure, but I just like that is just such a moment in time. And I feel like when I looked through the comments on this TikTok video, it really made me realize that the song and the music video has such an emotional attachment for me for obvious reasons, but other people have just as much of an emotional attachment, not only to the song or to the Backstreet Boys, but just to that time of life, which actually felt so much more innocent.
Yes.
And so much simpler, and so much, it was like a much more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like joyful time, where we all had a similar experience. We were all watching the same thing. We all have that common language. We all loved that pop music, time frame. We listened to all the same music. I feel like now things are so much more spread out. You've got a million options, right? You're not watching the same shows. You're not listening to the same music. You're not on the same social media platforms. You're doing all these things. That to me, it was like such a sacred time I say to my kids, like, I feel that I was the last normal generation without social media, without technology. And I value that, and I treasure that so much. Do you feel the same?
Same.
Yes.
Yes.
That's like what we are about.
Yes. This is what we dive
100%.
into. Yes.
I'm so anxious for concerts to start back up. And I told my kids, I will take you all to Backstreet Boys. And even if you don't understand all the music, you will definitely understand at least some of the music because I play it a lot. And I'm like, my friends and I have said, if NSYNC ever does a reunion concert,
oh my gosh,
we will pay top dollar. I mean, literally no amount is too much. We will buy those front row seats.
Take all my money. Take all.
Take my money.
Take it. I don't need it.
Money. I don't need it.
I don't need it.
It will be.
Bye.
It will be a weekend, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
It will be a whole event. It just would be so exciting. I mean, I know you guys talk a lot about New Kids on the Block, but that was sort of my before my time. Slightly, I was born in 82, and I feel like they were popular, and I was just slightly too young for it.
Yeah.
I got really into this when I was in high school, so that's more like age 16 or something. So for us, it was like 96 to that sort of 10-year time frame. And then I think not to say I aged out of it, but some of these more like recent ones, like One Direction, it was kind of I had passed my prime.
Even though Harry Styles, I will tell you,
I love Harry Styles.
I don't mind some Harry Styles.
I just feel like I'm missing out. I'm not in the thick of it like I was. I can tell you, what was AJ's favorite color, but like I can't tell you what the five guys in One Direction are.
Right.
So, oh my goodness, yeah. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, so amazing! Like I'm starstruck, like listening to your all the things you were able to do. I mean,
I know.
It's very unique. It's a very unique experience, and I look back and I'm so grateful that like this is what we were into. We weren't going to parties. We weren't drinking.
Right.
We were breaking into the backstage, and we were crashing red carpets. And the years later, this is funny. When I was at USC, I was a PR major, And I ended up contacting NSYNC's publicist, Roger, and interviewing him for a school project. Like this is the kind of, this is the level of nerd I am. Okay.
No, that's amazing.
No. Like that is like
that really
chance
is
of a lifetime right there.
I mean, it was just, we used to go and visit, do the stars' homes. So we would find like, where's Britney Spears's house and like drive by. And we knew where like certain ones were all around Hollywood. And one time when we were out, we ended up going by Tobey Maguire's house and he was outside.
Oh my
like
God.
it's your jackpot moment.
Yes.
Right.
You're like, oh, hey.
Like this is why we do this.
Yes.
Right.
And then it's like, well, now what do I do now these days?
Right.
Right.
You just drive by slowly like a weirdo. You try to talk to them, Oh my go's. It's just such funny times. And we used to go out to dinner and we'd see celebrities. I also worked as like a hostess, waitress, at certain restaurants in Beverly Hills, and you would see celebrities there and you had to act normal. Someone I saw on the corner, this is in Beverly Hills. It was back when Jennifer Garner was married to Scott Foley.
Yes.
They were married and they were together there.
Alias Jennifer Garner.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I of course remembered them from Felicity because that was the show that's how they met. And then they got married, but then they got divorced. And that seems like another lifetime, right? But anyway, saw them together like on the corner, it's just you just would see people all the time. And I will say like it becomes less exciting over time just because it's just kind of normal part of your lifestyle in LA. And I ended up working in the entertainment industry in various like jobs and internships. And it just kind of, it does wear off a little bit, but the boy bands never wear off.
No, they don't.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, they do not.
I mean, I could see where some of it would, but I mean.
Well, you're transported back into time. Like with Nick tweeting you at you. Oh
my gosh.
It's like all of a sudden you're 17 again. All of a sudden you're at that video, doing that. It brings back that memory.
Yeah.
So
I mean, my girlfriend and I laughed that we're going to be 90 years old and still telling the story because anyone I ever like just let it slip. And actually, this is funny. I was at, a party for like my niece a couple years ago and they're teenagers and they were talking about the Backstreet Boys as if they were a new band. I could hear the conversation going on. And they're talking about how they like certain songs. And, they've continued, of course, to release new songs.
Yes.
I'm like listening to this and I just kind of casually, turn around and I'm like, did you know that I was in their music video? And they just give you this look like, lady.
Yes.
And I was like, let me just go ahead and pull it up for you.
Oh my gosh.
The number one music video of all time. Let me just go ahead and pull that up for you. And
that's awesome.
Then they look at you a little different,
Yeah.
That you score cool points for sure. I mean, after this past week, my kids finally, I think, have started to understand just how big this actually was. I mean, this is all, of course, way before they were born, but and even my husband, like he was not a boy band fan. And he is just like, wow.
Yes.
reading the comments is really a trip. But I'm so appreciative. And I think it's so cool that the comments that people are writing are like, like I said, I've wondered about you and like, what are you doing now? And like, what was it like then? And someone said they thought I was Nick's girlfriend.
Oh,
whoa.
There's so many funny comments. And the number one comment really is like, you were living the dream for all of us. And you're living out our dreams. And I really take that very seriously. That I did live out that dream. And the thing is like, I'm not like a hired actress, right? I wasn't like hired to do this. Like I'm a fan and I was a fan just like everyone else is. So I feel a responsibility to everyone, to share it. And I'm so glad that I did because it's not just a cool story for me. It's a really cool story for everyone.
Everybody.
People love it. They love hearing about it.
Totally.
Oh my gosh. Because we get to live through you. So
yes.
It's amazing.
So and then it was a great opportunity for me because in my book,
Yes.
I make a ton of pop culture references.
I saw that
Yes,
TikTok.
yes. And that's just one. Like I'm actually going to post a few more, but like there's other, like I have some funny references to NSYNC in there, and I've got a funny one about Britney. I just a whole bunch of 90s stuff. I mean, if you're a 90s kid, you will love my
Yes.
book.
Tell us about your book. Tell us about your book.
My book is called Meet You in the Middle. And it is a bipartisan across the aisle romance between two Senate staffers. And it's in the romance world, the trope is called enemies to lovers, hate to love, you know? So they start off and they really butt heads, and then they sort of form a what's the word I'm looking for? A testy friendship, and then they fall in love. It's a very fun and funny read. And I think if you're someone who's tired of the world the way that it is, it's a very fun way to lose yourself in a world that's a little bit kinder. And I think you'll laugh your butt off, because I've got just a ton of pop culture references in there.
I'm sold.
My generation, like you will love it. Yeah, one click.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a really fun, especially if you're a romance reader. I think you'll really enjoy it. But I really do. I pack it full of pop culture references, because that's really how I communicate. I communicate in movie lines and TV show lines and you know, quotes from The Office, and I've got references to Tommy Boy in there and Happy Gilmore.
Oh, I love it.
So
When Harry Met Sally and You've Got Mail and all these, you know, like I literally jam pack it. So people, when they're reading, can laugh. You know, people who are romantic comedy fans will know immediately. They will catch you know, these fun references. So
amazing.
Oh, I love it.
Well,
I can't wait to read it.
We will put a link on our website so you guys can go buy it, because Brooke and I are buying it. So you guys go buy it too, because you're going to love it.
Fun, awesome summer read. That's my pitch. Great beach read. Yes. And I'm going to send you those pictures too. So you're going to see never before seen behind the scenes.
Here we go, guys.
Of your favorite 90s pop stars.
Oh, we can't wait.
So awesome.
We can't wait.
It's a treasure trove. It's a time capsule. It'll take you back
exciting.
22 years.
Oh, I love it. I want to go back to 22 years.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate it.
Yes, you're welcome. This is a delight for me to get to talk about it.
Amazing.
Oh, we love it.
So thank you so much for coming on. And you guys, if you want to check out those pictures, go on our website, mysocalledwhatever.com, and we'll have a link. It's in the show notes, so you can go there and see it all. You will want to, so go there.
Totally.
Yes. All right, Devon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Devon. It's been wonderful talking to you and meeting you.
Yes. We'll talk to you again soon, hopefully. Maybe you'll have more stories to tell us some other time.
You never know. You never know.
Yes. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Awesome. Bye.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
That was so good. Devon is awesome.
Devon, we
would love to have her on again sometime.
Yes. Oh my gosh, she has stories. Like, I was just every one after the other. My mouth, I had to pick it up a couple times because I was just like, what? Oh my gosh. Dancing with JC? You what?
Like,
you did
seriously,
what?
that was just running in my mind.
You did what? You did what? I was looking at you for your reaction.
I wouldn't be here right now.
Oh my God, dead.
I wouldn't be here right now.
Oh my gosh.
But you can go on our website and check out all of her pictures.
Right. And go buy her book.
And they're amazing. Yes, go check out her book. We're going to check it out.
Yeah, it's going to be a good summer read for me.
Again, link on our website.
Yes.
And Nikki has her socials right here.
Yes. So if you want to follow Devon, you can follow her on Instagram at Devon, Devon, Daniels, Daniels, author, all together, on Instagram and TikTok. And then on Twitter, she's Devon, Devon, Daniels _ on Twitter. We'll also have all of this on our website. So go right on that page. There's a link in our show notes. We'll link to it on all our socials. So you guys will see it and you can go ahead and follow her from there. So as well.
Very cool.
Yeah. So we have some news coming, about our anniversary. It's coming soon. It's still in the works.
But it's like close,
It's
guys.
so
It's close,
It's
close.
so close, but we have to get things all ironed out before we just like do something. So we've been
Right.
working on this for 3 weeks. So
Stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned, and it's exciting, and we hope that you'll help us celebrate. So that's it, and that's all. And
Send us your stories,
send
as
us your
always.
stories. Yes.
MySoCalWhatever@gmail.com.
Yes, please. We want to hear your stories. Guess what?
We
I have
love
to
you.
say thank you, because we got a few stories sent to us this
Thanks,
past week.
guys.
Thank you. We appreciate you so much. So send more. Send them more. Send more stories.
Right. We will always take more. Thank you. Please.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We love you.
All right.
And have a great week.
Yes, we'll be loving you forever.
And ever.
Just as
Amen.
long as you
want me to be.
I was waiting for you to finish it, but
Oh, okay. Well, I took a minute, but then I was like, I might as well finish it. She's waiting.
Oh god.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.